My name is Tony Houey. I'm one of the Cancer Council ambassadors here in South Australia. It's been a wonderful task that I've very gratefully taken on for the last 10 years or so. I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm a cancer survivor. Back in 2009, just as I was about to go on long service leave, from my position as a deputy principal in a very large independent school here in Adelaide, I was suddenly diagnosed with a very advanced form of head and neck cancer called nasopharyngeal carcinoma, or NPC. That cancer manifested itself by a tennis ball sized tumour in the middle of my head, which was pushing on the brainstem and was about a month away from getting into my brain and killing me effectively. It was a pretty shocking diagnosis. I'd had a number of symptoms related to congestion, sinus pain and so forth, and I thought it wasn't anything significant. So it's a pretty frightening diagnosis when you get that, and so after that began a pretty tough year of treatment and support and getting through that process, and I'm very fortunate and lucky to be able to say that I made it through. It's a sort of cancer that affects people significantly, like all cancers, but this one particularly because it's a head and neck one, and as you know, in your head and around your neck there are some very sensitive organs, so they had to be very careful with the treatment that I got. I was given about 22 doses of chemotherapy for much of the year and about 35 doses of radiation. Fortunately, that killed the cancer. It was significant, and my oncologist had said to me if I did nothing I'd be dead within a few months. So it was fairly confronting, but I trusted the medicine, I trusted the personnel, I trusted the technology, and with their help and the support of so many around me, I managed to get through and beat the odds. And to this day, I'm very grateful each day when I wake up that I'm still here. Cancer does affect people significantly, obviously, not just medically, but personally, psychologically, emotionally. It affects a number of relationships that you have in your family, your friends, your neighbours, and particularly at work. I was very fortunate indeed that I had an amazingly supportive school community who looked after me really well. They visited, they provided support. I had a principal who just knew exactly what to do and say and care for me. And when I returned to work in the fourth term of that year, I was eternally grateful for the support that I'd had. And I learned a lot about how strong that community was when people are in need. And I've since then developed a significant passion for supporting people with chronic illnesses, and in particular cancer. Cancer treatment left me with some significant residual and what I call collateral effects. I lost my smell, I lost my taste, I lost my saliva, so that's why I have to have water all the time. I had some compromised hearing, and most significantly I have significant nerve pain which has been left over in my feet and in my hands, and I've had that pain for 12 years, 24/7. I've tried everything under the sun to fix it, but you know, you just have to deal with it. And so my philosophy about that is, A, be grateful that you're here and you managed to survive and beat the odds. B, just take each day as it comes, one day at a time. That's my philosophy. There'll be days when things are not going well, and there'll be days when things are fantastic. And the latter are the days that where you count your blessings and say, well, yeah, what can I do to make the best of my second life, or what I call, or most people call, the new normal. Your life changes forever. I just have a couple of final messages for workplaces and workers and bosses and managers. There can be no greater good than to gather together to help in a common cause, to celebrate the vital work of so many who work every day tirelessly and fearlessly in the field of cancer, to provide essential funds for that work and to have some fun in the process. Supporting the biggest morning tea is a great way for you, your staff and your colleagues in your workplace to join together to share some valuable social time, to take a breath and acknowledge all that we do in our own workplace. It's also a good excuse to share some yummy food, to share stories, to strengthen and nurture bonds and connections and build community. Community is what it's all about. It's a very tangible way to raise much needed funds to support the enormously important work that the Cancer Council does through its roles in promoting awareness, in promoting empathy, in educating, in providing support, care and research. Your efforts and contributions will and do make a real difference. In taking part in the biggest morning tea, you contribute to the shared vision and the hope that together we are working towards a cancer-free future. That would be an amazing, amazing world. Cancer is a horrible disease. Enormous progress has been made over many decades, and I'm the living example of that. I would not have survived if I'd had cancer even a decade before I had it. And if I had it again today, it would be treated much more effectively and differently from when I had it. So thank you to all who have organised and promoted your workplace biggest morning tea today. Thank you for attending. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for sharing the vision of a cancer-free society. By being here today, you honour those who are going through cancer, you honour those who have been tragically lost to cancer, and you indicate hope and support for those who are about to go through cancer treatment in the years to come and in the future. I hope that this event will be a successful and happy one for you, that it will raise your awareness and that you'll make it an annual part of your workplace calendar. Biggest Morning Tea is one of those opportunities for us to build and nurture community, to support those who are in need of our support, our care and our funds.